I am, even today, a huge fan of SpongeBob SquarePants. The whimsical, playful writing always got a laugh out of me, even today as an adult, where you tend to get the darker undertones of the show, which make you enjoy the experience of watching the episodes even more. Around 2 weeks ago, I was just chilling on the internet, bored out of my mind, and then it hit me. SpongeBob. I decided to watch one of my favorite episodes, SB-129. You know, the one where Squidward travels through time to avoid SpongeBob and Patrick. I went to one of my favorite sites to watch the episode. Thing is, something was off. The episode was titled SB-129 Original Version. I assumed this was to get my attention. I've never heard of an original version or deleted scene of SB-129, so it just seemed like BS. But I gave it a chance anyway. The episode began as normal. Squidward got his clarinet stuck in his throat and SpongeBob asked him to go jellyfishing with him. The strange thing about this scene was that Squidward's voice, for some unexplained reason, sounded audible, and he said something along the lines of, "Jellyfishing? I'd rather burn to death and sizzle away than do that with you, SpongeBob." His eyes were bloodshot at this point. This seemed very off. How Squidward was talking about death in this sort of way? His anger wasn't cartoonish at all. It seemed like genuine, unscripted hatred. This is where the show really gets disturbing. Squidward threw a brick at SpongeBob and knocked him down. Squidward jumped into his window and repeatedly bashed him. SpongeBob's voice sounded like he was dying and screaming from the pain. This went on for 20 seconds or so until you finally heard SpongeBob's voice fade away. There's no blood, but part of SpongeBob's spongy flesh was on the brick. I almost threw up at that point. Patrick walked to SpongeBob's house, and Squidward had a diabolical look on his face. He pointed to him and, for unknown reasons, just screamed, "Die, starfish!" He grabbed a hook from SpongeBob's wall and slashed it at Patrick, cutting him up limb from limb. Again, no blood was present, but this still was horrifying to watch. I threw up watching. The police get word of SpongeBob and Patrick's murder, and the news gives an actual report of the incident, seeing Squidward as a potential suspect. Squidward then runs into the Krusty Krab and hides in the freezer. The cops walk through the Krusty Krab, but fail to reach Squidward. 2,000 years pass, and Squidward wakes up in the future. There is no Sponge-tron to free Squidward, but he dethaws anyway. Sponge-tron and Pat-tron, they don't exist. His ancestor hasn't had children yet. The time machine is still produced, though, and Squidward wanders around looking for an answer. Squidward found the time machine, and he broke down. He was so sorry for killing SpongeBob and Patrick, and he cried, and he cried. And he knew he had to travel back in time to prevent it from ever happening. But Squidward failed to reach the correct time period. He ended up in prehistoric times. He met primitive Sponge and Star. No changes visual there, but Squidward teaches them jellyfishing in SpongeBob's and Patrick's honor. The primitives aren't helpful and chase him down anyway. Thing is, this time, they maul Squidward to death. It's shown that they eat him and chop him into bits. They throw his remains in the time machine, and his detached nose activates the time machine. And the time machine gets flattened, like the original version of the episode. But Squidward is crushed entirely, and his soul breaks free. Squidward's blue transparent self remains in nowhere. And then the episode gets really sad. SpongeBob and Patrick's ghosts are in nowhere as well. Squidward apologizes profusely for his actions. He begs for their forgiveness, and they give it to them. SpongeBob and Patrick also apologize for their behavior. The times they bothered him and made everything worse. They're just plain annoying him in general. They all hug. Okay, that part sort of made me smile. At the end, Squidward woke up. The whole episode was revealed to just be a dream. He has a tear roll down his face and smiled. Maybe we can be friends. The episode ends at this point. I have no words for what I saw. I tried to replay it, but the file was mysteriously deleted. If anyone else saw this true version of the episode, please let me know.